It's a wonderful thing to see the Space family again here in Milano. It was a fantastic opening ceremony. We're so appreciative of our hosts, Aida and Ozzy and Leonardo for putting this all together. We're having a tremendous turnout here. As I said at the opening ceremony, about 11,000 registered paying delegates at this event. We expect another 4,000 later in the week on Public Day. And it's just wonderful to have the Space family back together in such force here in Milano. So this is our VIP luncheon, and we're pleased to see all you guys here, heads of space agencies, honoraries, and other leaders in our sector, a few astronauts in the room as well. Thank you for joining us. It's my privilege now to welcome our sponsor, the European Investment Bank, Gelsomino Vigliate, to come and speak to you today. Gelsomino.
So good morning, everyone. And unfortunately, my speech, my presentation will be between now and the access to food. So I will try to be short. And so I'm Gelsomino Vigliotti. I'm the vice president, one of the vice presidents of the European Investment Bank, and I'm responsible for the activities here in Italy. And, first of all, why we decided to sponsor and to come to this event, why for a bank it's relevant. So it's not to me to highlight to you how relevant is the space economy, how relevant is for the development, for climate action, for respect of the environment, to promote development, and also to reduce inequality. I mean, what is interesting to us is the way in which your activity can contribute to public goods, because we are a public bank. We are the bank of the European Union, and I will show you just some figure. We are the public bank of the European Union. The member states of the European Union are the shareholders of this bank. We are the largest multilateral development bank at world, since we have enormous investment here in Europe, but also outside of the Europe. We invest at a tune of 90 billion per year. Outside of the European Union, we invest around 1/10 of these 9-10 billion for activities outside of the Union. And obviously, we have a priority. As I said before, we are a public bank, and we want to finance public goods and also to invest where there are failure of the market or where there is a need of a public intervention to let some industry to develop. I do not go through all our priorities, but definitely, the European agenda, that now is even more driven by two major drivers, which is green and innovation. And in particular, in Europe, we are realizing that we are lag behind, especially on the innovation side, and we are actually trying to boost the road towards development. So just a few data, maybe that I am sure that you know better than me, but I've been to show how relevant the space market is becoming for the whole world economy. And as I said before, since this industry is one of the most innovative and technological advanced industry, if we look at the data, what we see is that, and actually I'm talking from a European perspective. So from a European perspective, despite many strengths that we have within this sector, in terms of investment, we actually lag behind the US, obviously, but also China. And that's why we are particularly interested to push our investment in this sector. We are working on with other stakeholders because we never finance in whatever sector an investment 100%. First of all, we want to foster the private sector intervention. We want to promote their intervention into all type of investment that we do. But also in particular sector, we have a strong partnership with the European Commission, and in particular on the space economy, we partner with the European Commission, with the European Space Agency, with the European Innovation Council. I will talk more about this council later, and with the EU agencies for the space program EUSA. And obviously, through this partnership, we try to mobilize even more resources. Actually, our role is that to leverage funding to the industry. Going ahead, I want to show you the way in which we invest, and with a particular emphasis on the space economy. The European Investment Bank is a bank, but has also a subsidiary, which is the European Investment Fund. And through the European Innovation Fund, we invest in funds. So the European Investment Fund is a fund of funds. So we invest into the funds, and these funds then invest in the companies. And actually, we, within the venture capital ecosystem, we particularly invested within the space economy through the Cassini Funds of Funds, which is a joint initiative with the European Commission, with a total commitment of 600 million. And as of today, the Cassini Fund invested in 8 funds, and several other ones are in the pipeline. Then the European Investment Bank, we also invest directly within startup or larger corporates. This is our direct lending that we can do, and we can provide direct fundings. But the most relevant initiative that we have, I would say, is the venture debt. The venture debt, which allow to provide a patient capital to the startup when they are at the scale-up or late-stage point in their life cycle. And here in Europe, we have a very interesting experience that is the European Innovation Council. The European Innovation Council is a fund of capitals which are at the disposal, which are put at disposal by the European Commission, where the European Investment Bank functions as an advisor. We do provide advisory. We provide all the due diligence to indicate to the Commission where to invest and how to support the most innovative and the most promising startup. What we know is that, especially where there are the most advanced technological ideas and projects, not always a capital, especially in Europe, maybe in other parts of the world, there are more capital at the disposal of the early stage of the startup. What we try to do together with the European Commission and through our instrument of the venture debt is that to promote the development and the business of these relevant actors within the system. Just briefly to show the the variety and the amount of sectors and initiatives that we have invested through the venture debt. In Europe, venture debt it's a very relevant way of financing. Since I said before, it's a form of patient capital. It's a quasi-equity, which allows firms to use this capital to develop their activities, and when they make profit, they can give back what they borrowed. And actually, through the venture debt, the EIB lended since 2016 6 billion in over 300 companies. And in regards of the space, we invested about 90 million. But I mean, actually, the pipeline in this sector is developing very fast. I want to give you just an example of what we did in the space economy. You know, I guess that you all know the orbit, which is an exemplary initiative to us at least, since we invested in this company at the very beginning. We invested just 15 million back in 2020. And now we know that this company is one of the first unicorns in the space sectors, and now it's worth 600 million. So, this is an example of an Italian company which actually started with few resources, but a very good and strong business case. And our intervention, the intervention of a public institution, was able to actually to boost the ability of this company. And we are very proud of an example like this. I mean, I provided you this example. It's an Italian company because we are here in Italy, but obviously there are many other examples that could be provided. So I'm here at the end of this short presentation. I hope to have provided you with some useful information about the European context. We are here in international context. And, to us, I mean, you may know that recently, in Europe, there have been the release of a very important contribution for the development of the European economy, the Draghi report, the Mr. Draghi report, where actually there was an insightful analysis of the legs of the industry in Europe and what has to be done to boost competitiveness. And actually one of the most relevant chapter, it's about the space economy. So we are very proud to be here. I wish you all the best for these events for the whole week. And I think that all we can enjoy the lunch now today. Thank you.